guest here, a friend from the legendary band Testament. Please welcome Chuck Billy. How are you, Chuck?
Good. What's happening, Ted?
Where are you at? You don't look like you're at home.
Yeah, I'm at home, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm at Pismo. Oh, no, I'm at Pismo Beach.
Okay.
With long-awaited little vacation getaway.
Nice. That's awesome. The weather's great too. So
it's perfect, man. The sun's out.
Hey, today's the 6th. In 4 days it will be 1 year since the last show of The Bass Strikes Back in Belgium.
Crazy, right?
Insane, isn't it? 1 year. 1 year.
No.
Oh man. And I'll get to this later, but I'll save it for the end. What I want to talk about with you today is that one time we went on tour. It was Testament, Annihilator, and Death Angel. We had a show in Madrid, and we went out to lunch, and we actually kind of bonded a little bit. We talked about what you went through during your cancer thing, and it really kind of brought a tear to my eye. And that's something I want to talk about today, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
How did you find out that you got cancer?
Well, that was kind of like it was a weird crossing of ways. It was actually somebody came, realtor knocked on my door and offered to buy my house, or had someone who wanted to buy my house actually, and I wasn't selling, but I took an offer. It was good. We said, let's move. And at that time, I think I was jammed with the Giorgio and John Allen, them out in Pittsburgh and Antioch. So I decided I was going to move to Antioch. So we went out there and moved and had to get all new dentists, that whole thing. And so I finally went and got a physical at the doctor. John's wife, Crystal, worked at the local hospital there. So she hooked us up with the doctor, went for a physical, and called me back in after a physical and said he's seen like a mass in my chest on an x-ray, and come back in and do some more tests. And so that's what I did. And that's when they found it, and right away went in and started trying to do biopsies. And I had, I think maybe third one was successful biopsies, because they didn't go deep enough. I guess my body like built a nice little wall around the tumor, I guess, and couldn't penetrate it. So it couldn't get in. And finally, once they penetrated the third time, that's when it kind of spilling out and jumped right into chemo, so we're in it 100%, pretty quick after, we found out, and had to wait all those biopsies.
Wow. That's pretty insane. I mean, then how long were you on chemo?
Seems like a lifetime, but I think I'm at least 3 months, and I was doing 5 days a week. I was in there maybe 6 hours. I was doing maybe not even that long, but I was doing 3.5 bags of whatever they were pumping into me.
Oh, and man, dude, that made you lose all your hair and all that crazy stuff?
At first, I was a little pissed because I was thinking I was going to lose it, right? And so I was waiting and never fucking happened. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to cut it. I went and met my whole family and my mom and everybody. We got together, and I said, I'm going to show up with the new haircut. So I went into what was it, like Supercuts. I went into Supercuts, and I walked in, and it was the funniest thing, Ted. It was I walk in, I'm in there, they got all the pictures on the wall, so I'm looking, I go, I want that one. I point out this haircut, and it's just total look, and she looks at it and goes, wait, which one? I'm like, that one right there. She goes, no. And I'm like, so I told her the story. But my mom went with me, and my mom, my whole life, has always told me to cut my hair. But when it came time to cut my hair, she was there. She was crying. It was sad. So it was a big thing then. So I cut it, and then it didn't fall out at first. And I was tripping, going, man, I cut all my hair off for nothing.
Wow.
And then just like one day, just in a shower, Tiff seen me and just started seeing it fall out, and that was it. And then was just a matter of a wash rag, and it was gone. Eyebrows, like everything in like a swoop, like in one shower.
Wow, dude, you completely bald, huh? Brazilian.
Yeah, tripping, like, yeah, And that's, that's when I think the chemicals are probably really kicking in and stuff by then.
So when did you seek out alternative ways to deal with this?
Well, I did pretty early on, while I was doing the chemo too. Um, it was, you know, for me, I was kind of looking at it and treating it as not as, I guess, as serious as it was supposed to be, because it's always hard to believe. And I was just had this mindset that I was just gonna, like, overcome it. Like, I don't remember if I told you, like, the day I found out I had it, I was really crushed, and went home and just kind of fell apart, like when I actually said it.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of just fell apart, like, oh my God, that's that word, and then the next day I just kind of really said, no bullshit. I'm not giving up. So of course, so what do we do? So I guess, like I've always done, just fight back. And so that's what it was about at that point. And then it was kind of like I really wanted to be more spiritual about it. So I really wanted to seek out my native roots a little bit more, and my native spirituality a little more, I guess.
Yeah. So, and you how did you seek that out?
Well, it was of well, okay, so it was a layer of things and messages, I guess, along the way that it started. Because before that, I had a friend, Nancy Slozeric, that lives in LA. She, like, had met us at the Rainbow after her show, and we were drinking and having a good time, and and she says, "Hey, I got to tell you, this dream I had, and I had this dream about Charlie, and she's always told me about Charlie Healer, and I had to meet him. He reminds me of, like, your brother." And so she tells me this story that I had a dream that you guys were sitting around a fire putting on war paint, about to go into a battle together. And of course, we're drinking. It's, after a show, like, yeah, whatever, Nancy. Yeah, it's a dream, right?
Yeah.
And weird how it connects later on down the line, and after I find out. So one day Charlie shows up at my house, and unannounced, when I opened the door, I pretty much knew it had to be Charlie. And we bonded really quick, and came in, and we sat down and we talked for a while. And then he told me that, what he's gonna do is gonna perform a ceremony on me. And he goes, "I'm going to tell you a few things, and they're really not going to make any sense, but they will fall into place and start making sense." And so, we did our ceremony. I laid on the ground, and he started chanting and doing a flute. And, I felt like I was, like, floating through the air, and, I could hear the wolves howling and the wind blowing. And it was heavy, it was really, like, real heavy. And
I bet.
And then after that, he had an eagle's feather, and he was chanting, and he swooped it across my chest, and that's where my tumor was, all here, my full chest cavity here. It was like the size of, it was like a squash, big squash, small squash, but it was right in there. And that's why I didn't have surgery, because it was too big, originally. I just had it done. And that's what it was all about, trying to figure out how do we do that, And so I went, Charlie had that healing for me. And shortly after that, after the healing, he told me that, sat down and said, the wind's going to be your spirit guide through this. And I'm going to tell you some things. They're not going to make sense, but you're going to think things are going to start falling into place. You're going to go, oh yeah. And then he was, like, pretty much gone. He left. I haven't seen him again, and news since he's passed since. But up to that point, that was kind of the first step, and that's when it kind of was like, okay, at least from what I was doing chemo wise, it was keeping me mentally focused on other things and not so keyed on an illness. It was kind of, I had, I don't know, something else going on, I guess,
Yeah, get your mind off it.
Yeah, and just didn't know, I mean, I don't know. I didn't know where I was going or what was. what was happening. You know, I was just kind of thinking positive, touching my roots. You know, that's kind of where it went. And then, you know, right shortly after that, I went down to Southern California, and it was right when they had all those floods down there. And again, I was going down to see my friend Nancy because she hooked up a sweat lodge for us down in up in the Santa Barbara Mountains. This healer named Turtle, and so we went to LA, and of course, storms in the news are flooding bad, and everybody's like, "Well, we have to call it off." Cody, my son, was with me, and my friend Tommy. He was like 14 at the time or something like that. And so we woke up and said, you know, it's still raining. It's a mess. We're still going, you know, we came this far. And so we head back up the Grapevine towards the mountain and get up to the top and head like towards the ocean. And dude, it was raining so hard. When we got to the top of the exit, by the time we got on the exit and started going west, it started like the sky opened up and it started like snowing, you know, and the sky opened up, the sun broke out, then it started raining again. And we were like, holy man, shit, what's going on? We're going like through all these weather changes, just tripping out, you know? And so we get out to where we need to go. And it's like about 10 miles off road. So we have to like 4-wheel it off to get to the sweat. And so we get all the way up there, and we made it just in time before they were going to do the sweat. And me and my son, we're standing outside, and it was heavy because the fire pit, it was so burned out. It looked like seats like going down in tears, because you have to keep the fire burning to heat the rocks, to keep the rocks into the sweat. And you know, you get like start with a few rocks up to the end with like maybe 15 rocks or more. And so we start standing outside. We're sitting outside, and it's clear, but then it starts snowing. But we're just sitting there in like our underwear and a towel, like, man, are you cold? I was like, I'm not even cold. It was just this I don't know, it was like a fog of I don't know, it was just like something heavy was going down, you know what I mean?
You were just feeling something.
We were in a good place. That was a strong spot right there, connecting with you know. And so we get in the sweat, and we sweat. My son gets in there, and it was hot as hell, and he couldn't last that long, but can't breathe. You got to get down to the ground and put your face with a towel close to the earth and smell. It keeps you cool right there. So he lasted around and made it out. And so after we split there, we had a healing and left. And that was kind of like our second journey. And the third one, we ended up going up to the Sierra Mountains when Eric Peterson came up, I think a weekend. We went with my friend Tommy. His uncle had a friend that was a direct descendant of Geronimo, and he lived with wolves. He lived with these wild wolves. It was crazy. Yeah. And I think Eric came up that day. Yeah, he was there that day when, and we were going to see him, and Tommy's uncle was saying, well, when we get up there, there's gonna be some wolves around, but Chuck, get out there and just approach that house. They growl, just don't look at them and turn around and walk back, you know, real slow. And so Cody and Eric are all, hell no, I ain't going anywhere. So we got to live, I'm gone. Came here. And so I went, and I got to the porch, and I got to the door, and I brought my son in, and it was just me and him. Everybody waited outside, and he was in there just teaching us like how to really connect with the earth, and using the energy of the earth to kind of focus your mind on shrinking the tumor, I guess, because that's what I really was needed to do to get an operation. So he had me and my son really doing focusing your energy as deep as you can and connecting with the earth and focus in that energetic power, you know, around your ailment. It was pretty heavy, but, you know, again, Ted, it was like a lot of it was just keeping my mind focused on, I think, on something else and believing in something else. And as I was going through these things, you know, like the first one with Charlie, you know, not shortly after that, you know, session, we had a party, and DiGiorgio was over there and a few people, a barbecue. And that night I got woken up because it was really windy and furniture thrown in, getting pushed around, and you can hear it thrown in the pool. And actually, my stomach was like bothering me that night, so I went downstairs to a guest room there, and outside the window was real still windy. I could hear beer cans jingling like outside the window. And I sat down on the toilet and released something out of my body and had this overwhelming sensation that I just got rid of. I could say it's the cancer, the illness, or whatever you want to call it. I had the emotion and the feeling of that. And my stomach had been bugging me for days. And it didn't hit me till when I had that feeling that the wind stopped and the can stopped. And then I kind of I said, wait, the wind, maybe this is that connection. I kind of put a piece together, and then I went upstairs and woke Tiffany up and said, hey, I just shit my cancer down the toilet. It's gone, man. And so she's like, shut up. What are you talking about? I said, yeah, I mean, I couldn't explain it. It was just a sensation I had. And so my next doctor visit and blood work, when I went in there, it told me that the tumor was cancer free. And
Wow.
So I'm like, what? Holy shit. Went and told Tiffany, you ain't gonna fucking believe what I fucking told her. And it's like, what would you do? I'm still believing this whole thing. I'm just, if it's not believing and if it's something else, I don't know. But my mind was still focused on that. And now my problem was, getting my tumor to shrink or having an operation to remove it, So yeah. That's what it all came down to. And shortly after that, the tumor was small enough. Wow. And I had open heart surgery, took it out. And, it was at 2002. So I've been like, cancer free since 2002, and I was doing every 6 months, but now it's like every December I go in for a full blood workup and check. And it was just a heavy trip, but I really took it to my native thing. I think I told you, I think in that story that, my mom was really religious, and
yeah,
she was Catholic, and, she was, really believer, and raised us that way, going to church and everything, and I'd say I call myself more spiritual than religious at this point, because of, I don't know, I've got a few years. I grew up and been on the planet, and I have my own opinion on things, I think. And there's a spirituality for sure I believe in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally. I believe in everybody's religion and spirituality. It's how you live it. So, that
dude.
was that. I think that was the story, wasn't it, Ted?
Yeah, dude. I mean,
you only said 2 words, man.
Because I'm still amazed at the story. It's really cool. I remember sitting in, outside of a restaurant, me and you in Madrid. It was a sunny day, and we were talking, and you told me that whole story, and I was just in awe, because I knew you went through some stuff, but I didn't know in depth of what you went through, and I find it fascinating too, and it made me think how you touch upon your Native American roots. Does that change your whole lifestyle now? Have you been in touch with it more than ever?
Well, I've been participating more in our tribes, things going on there, and some committees and things like that. Yeah, I mean, definitely, I'm actually, I know that they're actually getting ready to start opening here this month in Las Vegas, the first Native American casino. It's what is the one I can't even think of it. Why is Foxwood or no, yeah, not the Foxwoods. It's the one in Pennsylvania. Why can't I think of it now? But they're opening the first Native American casino this month there. So that's big things. I might go out there and support that.
That's awesome, dude. I mean. Yeah. Now that you went through that, and when you came out of it, I mean, you must look at like the band and touring from a whole different perspective and eyesight from it. I mean, because we've toured with you quite a bit, and what I always notice on tours, like, everyone has their moods. They get grumpy, sleeping on the bus, long hours, whether, but not you. You always come out of it like, hey, what's going on? Like nothing phases you, whatsoever. I never seen you pissed. You're always in a, like, you're glad to be here. And you're just making sure everyone's having a good time. And like, let's just have a good time and play some music.
Well, I mean, at this point, and as you touched on before, looking at things differently, I mean, I think as we grow up and you're starting bands and you're trying to climb the ladder, everybody's trying to climb the ladder, and it's all friendly competition, and you worry what critics think and other bands, and it's all that game. I think for me, because after when I got sick, I was at that point with the band where wasn't sure if it was going to be like, are we going to continue? Because I definitely looked in the mirror and didn't see, meet myself,
Yeah.
So it would have been like a year and a half, going on 2 years before I've been, so far removed from it, to have Alex and then have a full on reunion with the original guys was like, okay, this has taken all doubt out of what I maybe might have thought for a minute, because wow, I'm getting this whole new opportunity, something I didn't think I might even be doing again.
Yeah.
To like, wow, now I'm getting the original guys again. Okay, that makes it real different now. Yeah. So once we started jamming and playing again, it was really like, don't want to fuck this up, and this feels real good, and it was all focused on us having fun and not really about critics, I think, anymore. So there was a kind of a mindset shift right around that point in the band when the original guys got back. Things loosened up. It almost felt like you had the starting lineup again, like it was, on the basketball team, you had the strong five out there, It just felt like that. And it felt like that from like one of the, not downing anybody we played and fulfilled their shoes, but something special when we had our first rehearsal back, it was just something special, that we're like, oh shit, okay, that felt like it's supposed to feel like, it didn't take us long to get back in the groove too, you know what I mean? So that's saying something.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's great. And what brings me back to what's going to bring forward here in this conversation is during your whole cancer thing. This August 11th will be 20 years of Thrash of the Titans.
Wow, I know, right?
Yeah, 20 years, dude. I mean, unfortunately, you went through some serious shit, but that kind of kick-started the whole thrash movement again.
But it's a trip, Ted. We documented that thing so good, and it's so far removed from everybody seeing such a great night, dude, from everybody. You know what I mean? How good would that whole night's performance with Mixes be? That would be so good.
I know it's documented, but I don't think it's ever going to see the light of day, it seems like, unfortunately. Yeah. Through unfortunate circumstances, with you
like all the audio that was recorded, all the Pro Tools stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine those mixes if we just took some time and just.
Oh, man. Dude, it's crushing, dude. I mean, it was my first gig with Death Angel that night. So.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
It was dude. I only rehearsed with the band twice. Then we did Thrash and Titans. It was nerve-wracking, bro. I had to, I only jammed with the guys twice. I'm like learning all these songs. I'm like, then we hit the stage, and it was a remarkable night, man. Seeing you up there enjoying, just enjoying everyone back together and just jamming.
It was killer, and that was our first time I got on stage with all the original guys that night. For a minute, I think I did Disciples or something with them or something.
Yeah.
And so it was like that kind of like lit the fuse, a little bit, of something not in my head yet, but maybe in those guys. I don't know, just because I don't think we all probably would have gotten together ever. Maybe a lot of us wouldn't have gotten together ever.
No, let me ask you something about that, because you were part of the whole 80s thing. It seemed like there was a lot of competition and, with bands, then when Thrash of the Titans came around, it seemed like everyone let go of that and just came together, because a show never happened like that in the 80s.
that and ever will. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
with Anthrax coming out and doing their thing, and Billy Milano's an MC. Oh man,
SOD.
couldn't get better than that, right?
Yeah, but it was such in a small place, but it was great. I mean, that was like the turning of the tide, where it's like, let whatever we had in the past, leave it there. Let's just do this to, just to
And
do it.
I think a lot of bands that at that then haven't really touched base like we did too. So there was, everybody had a connection, even the Exodus guys,
Yep.
you guys, Heathen guys, I mean, Forbidden guys, they went and had a run too for a while. So I mean, it really lit a fuse under a lot of bands that maybe had some skeletons and demons in their closets that they had to finally just say, you know what, we outgrew that. Let's go have some fun. We created some good stuff, and we're fortunate enough to be part of some awesome music that's has touched a lot of people.
It is, because from a fan standpoint, I was in awe. Just even if I know you and Walter Morgan were responsible for that. And here's a little story I got to tell you, because Death Angel was the last one to confirm for that show. They were the last one, because
Wow.
At that point is
the demons couldn't get out of the closet.
Well, for them it's just like, they ended Death Angel on a high note, and they were done with it, because they went on and did other things, and they were happy with what they accomplished with DA back then. But it wasn't until, I guess, you called Rob on the phone and goes, "Hey man, you're gonna do this thing or what?" And that's when it all started, and here we are today.
Yeah. It's weird how things work. I mean, it's just like, thank whoever, but I had to go through something to get something. And look good. I got a bunch of great friends, a bunch of great bands making great music still. Come on, man.
Yeah, dude. It's like I said earlier, through unfortunate circumstances, something good came out of it, and you're healed.
And still is. Look at us three. We're tearing up Europe a year ago next week. We're on tour now, man. We're tearing shit up. We're on a good run, man.
We were, dude.
We're doing good. That was a good, but it's gonna happen, right? We still got to give it to America too, man. So
yeah, we gotta give it to America. We gotta give it to South America, Australia, and Japan, everywhere. I mean, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. And you know what? That was what I want to talk about, that tour, because doing my streams, I get a lot of people talking about that tour. What I like about that tour is it was when you go on a tour with bands and there's bands you heard of but you never met them, it just has this awkward feeling when you first meet. Everyone's trying to get their groove. But this tour, we just showed up. It's like, hey, didn't I just see you last week, man?
I just seen you at the plane at the airport. And
the crew, we all shared the same crew at one point or another. It was just like, no, there was no fighting, no hassles, none of this. It was just everyone knew we're going on. We watch each other's set, and it was fun, man. It was fun.
It was the definitely the fans were ready for that package.
Yeah.
And I think we all brought it. We all brought a really good show to everybody. I don't think there was a bad review ever for that tour. It was full on, nothing but positive. So, we're all still ready, and
we are too.
I know Eric's at home writing some new stuff, so hopefully maybe he gets a whole record written during this pandemic. That'd be nice, but maybe I'll get a couple of new songs or something out of him. So we'll see.
But then if you have a new record by the time the world opens up, then you have to go out and play 2 records.
Oh, it's okay. That means I could stretch it 6 years.
Yeah. But yeah, we're ready. I mean, we're ready, man. I mean, we're hoping the world opens up really soon. So, I mean, the Bass Strikes Back's got to hit America,
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, my agent too is just kind of we're booking stuff and we have stuff for Europe booked, but I'm not buying tickets yet. That's for sure. So, he's leaning towards 2022, but we'll see. I mean, I'll feel better going out once I get a shot or something myself.
Yeah.
So
same here. You guys ever thought about doing a live stream?
Yeah, I mean, eventually we'll do one, but you know, we want to do it, you know, something real creative, I think, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we've done one, and I mean, it was weird, but it was great. I mean, it's something to do for us and the fans. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing to get used to because you're not used to, you're playing to an empty room.
Right.
So, but people seem to dig it, and I'm hoping you guys in Exodus could do one, or I had this crazy idea of we should try to do something for the 20th anniversary for Thrash of the Titans.
Yeah, or I mean, you could even do the Bay Strikes Back virtually. I mean,
Yeah, that's something we could all talk about. That'd be cool. But
it wouldn't have to be a full show either. Just like
yeah, it doesn't have to be, dude. We'll figure something out. Hey, Chuck, there was a fan question that came in for you.
Okay.
You want to check it out?
Sure.
Here we go. His name is Luke. Here we go.
What's up? Luke here. First off, I just want to say I'm a huge fan of both your guys' bands, so thanks so much for doing this. So my question to you is, how do you stay inspired when writing your lyrics? Like for songs like Children of the Next Level or City of Angels, which, are obviously based on true stories. When you're writing songs like that, do you just sit down and pick a topic and just say, I'm going to write about this? Or do you just let inspiration strike at random and then just base a whole song off of it? And also, how do you stay motivated after so many years of writing lyrics? Thanks so much, guys. Rock on.
Okay, I thought that was live. It's like, man,
that's pre-recorded.
Well, I mean, yeah, we always try to. Well, it's always for me has to be something real. I guess I like to have more lyrics that are real that you can touch. I guess things that either we have experienced or been to or been somewhere that inspires us to write something or something we've seen. But it always starts with kind of some of the times the title. But most of the time I'll like, for me, I'll find, I always listen to it and try to find like a hook in the chorus or something, like Children of the Next Level, that kind of fell into place right away on that chorus, on that hook there. So I knew who the Children of the Next Level, I knew I was going to write, about Heaven's Gate. So that one, once you get something that a word or a thought that just inspires, like, oh, that relates to this, that be something I didn't write about yet, or, oh, that's a good story. I can really come up with some cool things going on there. That's how I kind of stay inspired. I mean, sometimes I can take the easy way out and just write something that's more like a poem or something. I don't like to rhyme. I try not to rhyme a lot. When I write, when I used to write, everything was rhyming, and so over the years I've kind of trained myself to try to not to do that a little bit. So I don't know. I'm always learning. I'm always trying to come up with different ways, or especially on this last record, there's a lot of songs and song lyrics that are definitely no similarities to each other that all really stand out, on their own.
Chuck Billy writing lyrics. Now that we're getting into the lyric writing here, how does Testament write music and stuff? I know every band has their own way of writing. Do you guys still get together in a jam room, or is everything done virtually?
Not anymore in a jam room. Not right away. It usually starts with me and Eric. We both got a little home studio going on. So I'll go out to Sacramento. He'll jam for a while, and I'll say, I'm coming out. Not yet. I'm coming out. Not yet. All right, come on out. And then so I'll come out there, and he'll run through some riffs, and then I'll just listen and then mumble along, and and then if I really like something he's doing, I'll say, "Stay, that's a good one. Just keep that, record that right now," And it kind of starts with that, and then once I come in and find a rhythm, for me, it's kind of like I guess jumping rope, it's like he's doing real fast chugging. I'm just trying to figure, okay, now, and so, once I get my rhythm with him a little bit and find something that feels okay, then he'll even hear it. And then he'll say, okay, I hear what you're doing. And come back tomorrow or give me until next week. And then I'll come back and it starts growing. And then, that just starts like that. Sometimes we're lucky where he'll have a whole arrangement, done. Alex writes like that. When Alex writes like songs he contributes, he pretty much has them like start to finish and sends them in. And then me and him worked on the lyrics on it. Me and Zed actually wrote one of his songs lyrically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Alex didn't like it. So Alex rewrote it. Me and him, he wrote majority of it though. So yeah.
Nice. Do you guys ever get into a fight in songwriting? Like, nah, man, I don't like that, man. And someone would, no, I like it.
I guess it comes down to that. There's some stuff where I tell Eric, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. Somehow, it ends up there when it's time to record something. There it is. And I think, honestly, I really had a habit writing with Eric before we got to like, here's how it's going to be. I would always pick apart the riffs and move shit around and, oh, that's not a good chorus. That doesn't feel comfortable to sing. I always did that. And just because the Brotherhood of the Snake record took us 2 years of just going crazy trying to put it all together. I didn't want that process to happen again. So when he started writing, I said, I'm not even going to critique it. I'll be happy if he just gives me songs. I'll figure it out. Yeah. So it actually made it more challenging for me. I ended up finding my way through what he gave me, and it actually turned out cool. And it was more of a challenge. Yeah. So it was actually something new, I did, but the songs turned out, killer, I thought.
Yeah, man. You always got to try something new. Sometimes you got to break out of your comfort zone, Yep. And just
definitely did.
Yeah. So, when it comes to the set list, who writes the set list?
Eric. Yeah, Eric will write it.
Do you have say in it?
It doesn't matter who else writes it. By the end of it, Eric's rewriting it. So we just let Eric write it.
On the last tour, what really blew my mind is when you opened up with Eerie Inhabitants. I know. That I never thought you guys did. I was expecting something like the first song off the new record, but when you guys did that, I had to watch it every night. That's like that's the song that got me pumped. I think that's the song that that sets the tone of what Testament's about to do that night.
Yeah, we put together a good set for that tour. It was really diverse, had a lot of everything, it was, but that one, we were trying to, I don't know. I think by the end, you seen, we were like a machine, the same motion, it was the same show by the end of the tour, just dialed in.
Yeah. Do you ever get that feeling when you look down at the set list and you go, oh man, we got like 10 more songs to go? Do you ever get that feeling?
Sometimes, but
I do get that feeling. Quick. Yeah.
Well, if I'm feeling like my voice is a little strained, yeah, then I'll be like, all subconsciously like, oh shit, but I always end up getting through it, one way or another.
Yeah. I bet for a singer, and I know I talked to Mark about this, when you do a lot of fly shows, especially South America and like Australia and stuff, that really wears you down as a singer, your voice especially.
Oh, South America, you're shot on that.
Yeah. Hey, there's Tiff. Hi, Tiff.
Yep.
Hi, Ted.
But Chuck, I know you're a busy man today, and I got some stuff going on. I really want to thank you for jumping on the stream. But before I close out, I have a thing called the Dirty Dozen. It's 12 questions I'm going to ask you, and you just fire away with an answer. You ready? All right.
Yeah.
Mild or spicy?
Spicy.
All right. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Duh.
Yeah. Well, just asking. A movie you could watch over and over.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
I have yet to watch that.
What?
I haven't seen it yet, man. Biggest pet peeve.
People on their cell phones when they drive.
Oh, that's a good one. What time does your alarm clock go off every morning?
It doesn't.
Your internal clock.
I get up at like 5 a.m. every day.
Woo! You're an early riser.
Yep.
A song you love to sing when you're all alone.
A song I love to sing when I'm alone?
When you're alone.
Zero. I don't do that.
You don't sing when you're alone.
Nope.
Your dream vacation.
I'm here. Dream vacation. Oh, the British Virgin Islands for like a month on those hot sandy beaches.
Oh man, that sounds actually nice. One thing about you that probably annoys others.
Would you like my list?
No, Tiff's got a list. I can't think of any, Ted.
Come
I
on,
don't annoy anybody.
Well, you don't annoy me, but I'm sure like.
Here's the one for Tiff.
Okay.
I don't put the toilet seat down. How's that one? Is that
Okay.
a good one?
That's a good one. How about this? A favorite smell?
The ocean.
Oh.
Ocean, baby.
It's good for your lungs, I hear.
Oh, I love it.
All right. An instrument you wish you could play.
Piano. Yeah.
Everyone starts off on the piano. Oh, on a scale of 1 to 5, how good of a dancer are you?
Shit, I'm a 6, Ted. Come on.
I believe that.
Saturday Night Fever, man.
Woo! I believe that, Chuck Billy. And the last one, what did you have for breakfast today?
Nothing. We haven't ate yet.
Oh, come on,
we got on the road at 6 a.m. this morning out of Discovery Bay to Pismo Beach.
And you're there, and you took my Zoom call, and I appreciate it.
I'm gonna show you.
Please do. Show the whole world. Everyone from around the world is watching.
Can you see the ocean?
Yes, I can, man. That looks great. Is that a tour bus?
Well, it pretty much, I guess. It's mine and Tiff's tour bus.
Damn, balling, enjoying life, which is awesome, man. You might as well during these pandemic days, bro.
And there's the pups.
Look at that. Nice, dude. Nice. Chuck, thank you very much for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. You know, a lot of fans have been messaging me, asking me, when you going to get Chuck Billy? And I did today.
You caught me in Pismo Beach.
Yeah, which is awesome, man. You know, people are usually at home, but I caught you at Pismo. So, Chuck, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, Tiff.
Bye, Ted.
Hope you guys enjoy. And everyone, please follow Chuck on all the socials and Testament. And you said you're probably writing a new record. So,
my last plug. Hold on, Ted.
Yeah, please. The floor is yours, my man.
Testament Coffee.
Where could they get that at?
You're a coffee guy. Oh man, it's so good. So good, Ted. I think Rocked Coffee, ROKD Coffee. But I'm sure it's all on our socials, Instagrams, Facebook.
All that stuff.
Check it out. It's a dark roast of earth.
Dark. Well, I'm a coffee guy. Roast. I'm gonna have to try that too. Everyone, go check out the Testament Coffee. Everyone, say bye to Chuck Billy.
All right.
Testament. Chuck, thank you, and we'll talk soon.
All right, Ted. Later.
All right, man.